Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Stargate Oracle with Ariel Tang. I am your host, Ariel Tang. Today, I am going to share one of my favorite topics, that is sacred sites. All right, so we should be like playing Indiana Jones music now. I am very lucky to be able to travel around the world to interact and co-create with many different sacred sites. First, there are sacred sites all around the world. Some are active, some are dormant, some are little known, some are very well known. So, what are the sacred sites? Sacred sites for me, they are sacred power spot. Sacred in a sense because we honor that. However, of course, a lot of sacred sites which I have been to, they are unfortunately being desecrated. Many places that people didn't really take care of the site itself. So it's sort of bring the energy down. Now, sacred sites are all around the world. They usually have special energetic power on many levels. So physically, electromagnetically, they're usually displaying certain particular energetic principle. So you will measure them with specific instrument. Those places usually emit higher magnetic field or electromagnetic field. And if you use BioGeometry, which I'm a student of BioGeometry, you can also use specific instruments to tune into the subtle energy layer of that particular power spot. So sacred power spot have healing power and energy power, literally because they are the energy centers and frequency hubs on ley lines. So ley lines are connecting power lines like the meridians of a body. So in human body, we have meridians, energy lines, right? Running, connecting different energy centers and organs. And on Earth, it's the same. Earth is a body, it's a living consciousness. She also have specific energy centers that can be chakras of her body, which can be stargate or end frequency hubs. And also smaller nodes, like we have glands and nodes in the human body. So sacred sites usually have both on a physical aspect of phenomenal electromagnetic powers, and also spiritually it will affect our subtle energy fields. So in ancient times, how people find out whether a place is a sacred site usually is following animals. Animals are much more in tune with the pulsation, the life force, the subtle energy field of nature, of planet. And sacred sites are the power spots of the planet herself. So they following the animals where they sleep at night, and if they were injured, where they will go and rest, because those places have healing power. And then humans will start to like build something around it because they know, oh, that spots when the deers and the horses are injured, they gather there. And usually the vegetations are more flourishing. Everything is a bit more vibrant because there's a lot more energy and life force in those sacred power spots. So back in the days, also a lot of them maybe have some divine guidance about where the sacred spots are. Sacred sites are already there before there were even humans, because it's part of the energetic blueprint of this planet with specific ley lines, sacred energy spots. When people start to gather more around the sacred sites, because the energy is very supportive for prosperity, for growth, and you will start to see villages, towns, cities, countries built all around it. Now, modern day, if we look at certain old cities, how they did the town planning, you will find that the most important, powerful sites are built on those energetic power spots within a city. You can see the layout in Washington, D.C., in Paris, Mexico City, Vatican. Imagine the sacred site, their power spot, right? And you can tap into the energy field, the ley lines. There's a lot of spiritual power that can help us elevate our consciousness and get in touch with multidimensional reality, because sacred sites usually are also places that the veils between dimensions are thinner. So it's easier for us to tap into different layers of realities, whether a parallel universe or different dimensions. It's more accessible. Also, but it can be tapping into a whole power spot, right? Basically all around the world. Whoever that come and invade a country, they know how to find a power spot, because usually it's where the temples will be. The temples or specific places that people honored as sacred site. They were already sacred site. And then of course the conqueror, they come and take over the power, will build their own thing on top of this existing infrastructure. Because there's a reason that, because you can tap into those energy and you can use it for good or for not so good. But I am not here to propagate any agenda, simply just saying things as it is, that we humans have been going through history in a certain way, but right now we are shifting into much higher timelines. So that's why a lot of people were guided to go to these sacred power spots. For example, me or you, if you are watching this video, probably you're already interested in sacred sites, right? Part of us have this deep calling because we remember, it's actually encoded in our DNA, that we remember the power these sites can provide. And we are yearning to go back to it for various reasons. Okay, what are some features of sacred sites? So sacred sites, like I said earlier, it can be power spot. It can be also how we can manipulate time. Different sacred sites have different properties. Not all sacred sites are the same. Different centers have different functions. Some sacred sites can be stargates that you can access multiple dimension and cosmic connection and connected with stargates of the universe. Some are portals. Mostly they're all portals in some way. Portals to parallel dimension, parallel lifetimes, parallel realities, parallel universe. They can be activation station. They can be storage library of light, storing different type of information. It can be about the creation of Earth or specific codes that certain ancient civilizations have codified and stored in specific places, such as if we go to Avalon, which is the modern day British Isle, there are codes stored in so many sacred sites all around. They have a lot of magic codes, and they are connected with the rim of Avalon. And then when we're looking at, say, Antarctica, which is a stargate itself, there are a lot of codes coded by Atlantis. So more and more will be available for us to access. So different sacred sites have different functions, and libraries of light and activation station. Some are actually for us to manipulate timelines in some way. When I say manipulate, I don't have bad connotation to it. It's just the mechanic about manipulating, regulating, changing, moving, and whether the result is the positive or negative depending on our intention. Trust that everything serves, even the so-called not so nice things that we experience here on earth right now, it serves. It is part of spiritual evolution. And our spiritual evolution is not just about this lifetime. It's actually being influenced and co-creating with so many other parallel lifetimes, and simultaneously ancient civilization that we perceive as ancient because it looks like it's our past, but it's also our future. Haha. Welcome to my world of multidimensionality. Now, why would people visit or co-create with sacred site? There are so many features and exceptional powers that you can access through sacred sites. So you can use it for good or for not so good. Back in the days, there are specific mystery school initiates. They know how to work with sacred site. They know the subtle energy field, and they know how to use specific architecture to harness the energy, whether it's for healing, for prosperity, for greatest good of all, or for manipulation or control of power. If you're curious about how you can use architecture or the design language of nature to affect the subtle energy field, I recommend you to check out BioGeometry. I'm a student of BioGeometry. It's a beautiful body of work that is pioneered right now by Dr. Ibrahim Karim, that based on very ancient teaching. That's how we can build a coming golden age through architecture. So you can channel the energy for whatever purpose. When you go to ancient temples, there is an intelligent why they have to build things certain ways. It's not just aesthetic, but it's have important energetic principle and knowledge built into it. They want to create certain energetic quality. And hopefully it's for creating healing, prosperity, and harmonizing the field for everyone. Those empowered how to co-create with that, but the intention depends. And but say us everyday people, why would we feel called to go and visit a sacred site subconsciously or unconsciously? A lot of tourists, they might not even realize that subconsciously they were guided to visit those places to receive codes. And that's one way, but we can also do it more consciously. For example, when I was younger, I love earth mystery. I don't know why, I was just fascinated by Stonehenge since I was very, very young, and fascinated by Egypt. And none of the family members in my family were keen on that. There can be so many reasons why we will visit different sacred sites. One of them is our soul calling, that we are called to be in that place. Maybe it's to activate certain memory seed within our DNA, and then at its own defined timing, it will blossom, it will sprout. And we can do it consciously or unconsciously. After I got my galactic activations, when my cosmic and galactic consciousness got activated, I remember how to do grid work. I said earlier, the different sacred sites at different specific spots with the ley lines, they're all part of the energetic grid, energetic structure of the earth, right? So when we do grid work, which I was guided to do, I remember more and more of my cosmic and galactic history and what I'm here to do on earth. How am I here to support the reconciliation of different ancient civilizations and co-creating a new golden age? So when I start to remember, it's just become natural. I know that I was guided to go to sacred sites because I would tune into the energy field of that place, to tune into the land, the water, the elements, maybe even speak with the dragons and the fairies. What am I here to do? Because we human is a super advanced spiritual technology. The physical body is not just flesh. So when we are in a sacred site, we literally is almost like plugged into a certain architect, a certain technology. And so you as a key and the sacred site as a key, you're actually communicating. So they have different purpose. Many times we were guided to go to sacred site is because of our own healing. Like what I said earlier, when the animals get hurt, they will go to specific site to rest because that's the healing energy. I was guided to go to different sacred sites to do grid work, like to repair the grid, to install new things, to like unlock libraries of light, receive information, and in certain portals, I'll be guided to co-create with other versions of myself in Atlantis or Sumeria or ancient Egypt to bring something forth for humanity or to help to harmonize the grid, whatever. So this is the thing. And usually I don't have the full picture when I go on this kind of journey. I will just have an impulse that, okay, I need to be in Egypt now. I sort of have an idea about, okay, it's gonna be solstice, the new moon, it'll probably something magical anyway, and then I'll just go and follow my impulse. And then usually one thing led to the other, then I will receive more and more guidance. And a lot of time it's usually after I have done my grid work, then I will got all this confirmation. It's like, oh, that was what I did. Exactly. Okay. Just like I was guided to go to Stonehenge. I love Stonehenge. Like, I love Stonehenge. The Stone Friends. And it's of course, it's a multidimensional portal. A lot of stargates, they are multidimensional port. A lot of these sacred sites are multidimensional portals and stargates. Stonehenge is one of my favorite to co-create with. They're living consciousness. So when you're working with them, you're communicating with another living consciousness. It's beautiful. It's just ecstatic at some point. So it's something for you to feel. But of course, if you don't consciously co-create with the sacred site in this way, you might not feel that way. Sacred site with the energy sometimes can also trigger things that deep in your subconsciousness, bring it up so that you can deal with it and you can heal it for your onward journey in your spiritual path. When we know how to consciously work with them, then we also know these lessons, that triggers that come up, and we can consciously deal with them. Traveling to sacred sites for me is one of the best direct way to accelerate our consciousness and our ascension, because once you plug into those energetic grid, you are receiving calibration codes at a very, very fast pace. It's like everything just upload into your field, and it's all multidimensional. So yeah, that's what I love to do. That's what I do for fun. I spent my Christmas 2 years ago by myself at Lake Titicaca. That's amazing. And I spent the Valentine's Day in the Great Pyramid. And one of my missions that I was guided by Sirian Council of Light to travel specifically to ancient civilizations to reconnect with my Golden Ages version. My other version of myself in Golden Ages, they have codes to share with me. And at the sacred site, it's easiest to tap into, because first, the sacred site itself usually have multi-dimensional connection with those Golden Ages. And so through me physically being there, I can receive a lot through the multidimensional portal. So I was guided to went on a huge journey all around the world, which I love so much. And so far I have been to many sites. I was guided to share these teachings, how to consciously co-create with the sacred site consciousness, because sacred travels, co-creating with this sacred consciousness have given me so much, have support so much on my own ascension journey. I got so many upgrades and memories activation, DNA activations guided by my ascension team of different councils of light, different beings of light, and the Ascended Master Collective. So my invitation for you is, if you're curious about sacred sites and go on a journey, sacred travel journey with me, I am your girl. I will be facilitating many different type of sacred journeys coming forward in my new era of divine service, because the last era is unlocking all this for myself. And now is my era to guide people and share, because my field helped people access my field, serve as a bridge to bridge your consciousness with the sacred sites consciousness. In a way, it's a gatekeeper, but not in a bad way. It's simply because I know how to work with the sacred site, and I am helping facilitating the process of guiding you how to work with them for the highest and greatest good. Because we have to understand that within a sacred site, so many layers and dimensions of realities happens. So we have to know how to consciously what type of frequency we want to tap in, what kind of information libraries we want to tap in. So it's very conscious and precise, and done with great reference and preparation. We need preparation so that we are the energetic match to resonate with the higher dimensional information that are available within a sacred site. So I am going to host many beautiful sacred journeys, and one that is coming up very soon is to Egypt, because Egypt portal is super active now, and it hosts keys to many ancient civilizations such as Atlantis, Sumerian, and ancient Egypt. And when we are going to ancient Egypt with me, we're not actually so much about the history. You will know about the history if you want, because we will have our Egyptologist guide that can explain all the history if you want. However, my intention is to more tapping into the higher dimensional information that were not accessible or available previously for humans. Because we have to understand that what information we retrieve depending on our frequency. And previously, because there was a lot of distortion in the humanity template, the information that got channeled are not of the highest. So my invitation is that we can all go together and to tap into higher dimensional golden ages knowledge. That's my intention. to remember our golden ages version so that we can build a golden age together. If that sounds amazing and if you feel excited about it, I have dropped the link in my description. So please have a look and reach out to me on social media or YouTube so we can have a chat. The journey itself is going to be phenomenal. It's lovingly curated by me. So it's not a cookie cutter thing. It's lovingly curated to support our ascension journey. So please treat this as not a sightseeing tool, as a deeply transformational, accelerated ascension journey. This is the intention of this sacred journey. And if you are happen to watch this recording at some other timeline, I'm sure there will be others offerings that I'm already putting it out there. So different sacred sites. So join me for spiritual travel, sacred journeys. I am very, very happy to co-create with you and be your guide and mentor and your really fun companion on this journey. Sending you all love.